It may be a bear market, but there is some green out there in the crypto space. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of charts and see what you guys think. Here's a chart on Velodrome. It literally came from under a penny to, well, where it is now, which actually at its point went to 10 cents in a matter of weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks. Then you have GMX. GMX probably was as low as 11 bucks at one point in time, and now it's around 44 bucks. Here's another screenshot. You got Uniswap. This came from about $3 and as high as almost 10 bucks. Then you got another one called Synthetics. Synthetics actually came from as low as $1 and came to as high as $4.40. So another 4x. Then you have something called FXS. This was actually lower. This was probably around $4 and went as high as to around $8. And then you got another one that was trading around 80 cents and is now around $1.40. And keep in mind, this is a rapidly inflating token and it's still going up in value. These are not the only charts that look like this. There are other protocols out there that are doing this. The TLDR on this is that for the most part, these protocols are banging on fees. The small narrative I see going on in the crypto market has to do with protocols that are generating a lot of revenue and fees. Unfortunately, gone are the days of staking your tokens to earn some money for nothing and basically move from yield farm to yield farm to yield farm to suck out all the yield. Those are some fun times. But in today's video, guys, I want to give you some tools that you can use in order to navigate the crypto markets and figure out which protocols are generating fees. I'll also give you guys some examples. That way we can walk through and show you guys what to look for. That way you have a better understanding for your own research. Of course, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Let's go and get into this. The very first site we're going to use is cryptofees.info. The site is a little more simplistic. I'll show you guys a more complex one later in this video with some more tools that you can use to research these different projects. But this gives you a brief and general overview of what's going on. The ones in purple are different dApps. The ones in white are going to be your different chains like Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Polygon, Avalanche, etc. What I really like about this site is on any of these different dApps or chains, you can toggle down to see what's up on it. This shows where the revenue is coming from. It says from V3, from V2, from Optimism, Arbitrum 1. That way you can see where the money is coming in. It also shares with you the price to sales ratio. How they get this ratio is they take the total market cap of the Uni token, annualize that, and divide it by the fees annualized. So in order to get the annualized fees, all you would do is figure out, oh, okay, well, we're making 1.5 milli in one day. Let's see how much that is over a year. You'll just multiply it by 365. So you take that number that you just got and you divide the market cap by that number. That's how they're getting the price to sales ratio of 5.52. Now, of course, this ratio always changes from time to time, but you can see here, this is the Uni market cap, and then you have the total fees. Remember, you multiply this number by 365, and you'll divide this number by the total fees, and that gives you the price to sales ratio. Now, you don't really have to do that. You can just go by here and boom, done. This site actually does the metrics for you, especially for Uniswap, but there are some protocols that don't have it. That way you know how to do it. Like, for example, Solana doesn't have it. That's why I gave you the math so you guys can do it yourself. Now, if I want to do a little more research, I like to use Token Terminal. Token Terminal has a list of several different projects and dApps. You can just click on each of them and they have a lot of information on the different protocols. Of course, they don't have all of the information there, but they have some pretty valuable information. Here's what I really like about Token Terminal. If you scroll down and going on the main page, you can actually toggle and specify what you're looking for. So if you want to look for the protocol that is making the most revenue, you can toggle it from the ones making the least amount of money to the most amount of money on this platform. As you can see here, it ranks from Ethereum, OpenSea to Uniswap. This is paid in the past 30 days, so this is not just over time. You can also figure out, hey, what is trending right now? Who is, well, this is down the most. Who is up the most? Well, look, Zcash is killing it, 1inch, DeFi Saver, Lyra. Maybe I should take a look into those protocols and see what's up. Alpha Finance, Balancer. This is where you can get different ideas. Now, another tool you can use is the price to earnings ratio. You can toggle this to go up, you can toggle it to go down, but the lower the ratio, the better. or usually the better. And how you can figure out if your protocol is low, you have to figure out what are the other protocols similar to the one that you have or the one that you're looking at is trading at. Now, obviously, this isn't the whole gauge. I mean, all the protocols could be trading overvalued or they could be trading undervalued, but we're going to use DYDX, for example. DYDX has a price to sales ratio of 7.87. In comparison, I'm going to go ahead and use GMX. GMX is another popular protocol that's similar to DYDX. As you can see here, GMX is trading at a 5.1 price to sales ratio. Oh, well maybe GMX is a better value than DYDX, or they're both just undervalued. This is just one of the many tools that you can use in your research. Next, you can also specify by treasury. You can do 7-day trend. It's market cap. It's up to you what you guys want to do. Since we're on Uniswap, I'm just going to go ahead and click Uniswap and Token Terminal and show you guys the different details that it provides. What I really like about this is that you can select and see the active users. This is a pretty important metric to use. Of course, this isn't your go-to metric. Typically, when you're looking at the active users chart, you do want to see this at least bottom out or sustain at an area. You don't want to see it going down only. The reason why I say bottom out or sustain in an area, this typically has to do with a bear market. You don't usually have new users coming into the crypto ecosystem. I can tell you from the subscribers on my YouTube channel, they're actually down only. That reminds me, make sure you guys unsubscribe from the YouTube channel. That way the momentum is still going in the same direction. My goal is to hit 33,000 subscribers. I think we can do it. Now, another metric I like on Token Terminal has to do with the treasury. You can see here the treasury has been going down in value over time, and the main reason for this is because it's denominated in the UNI token. Of course, this doesn't show how much is locked or how much is unlocked. This is just a general scope of what the treasury is doing, but you can see here the treasury is over $3.6 billion, or actually almost $3.6 billion. So it's a pretty healthy treasury. Now, if UNI token goes to zero, well then there goes the treasury. So make sure you guys keep that information in mind when you guys are doing your research and due diligence on a project, figuring out what's in their treasury. Also, if you scroll down on Token Terminal on the Uniswap page, you can see they even give some comparison charts, and you can add different projects to compare them to other protocols. You can basically see that Uniswap is eating everyone's lunch in revenue. Another metric I like to use is the token holders. This goes to denominate how decentralized the protocol is. As you can see here, over time, the UNI token is still becoming more and more decentralized. There are a lot of holders for this token. Now, if Token Terminal doesn't have your project, there's also another way you can figure out how decentralized your coin is. We're going to go ahead and look at Aave, for example. When you go to Aave on CoinGecko, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it on Etherscan. The best way to do this is you figure out who are the holders. On Etherscan, they have this button that says holders. You click holders and it will take you to a breakdown of the different token holders. Bear in mind that if it's a contract, this could be people staking, so it's not necessarily saying this is all in one holder. If you don't like looking at words, numbers, and boring stuff, I just like to look at the pretty colors, and I click the token holders chart. When I go to the token holders chart, it gives me a nice breakdown of who holds what. As you can see here, there are a lot of different holders of this token, with the top 100 holders holding 85.77% of the supply, and the other token holders of 118,000 holding the rest. Now, it's not super decentralized, but in my opinion, this is a pretty decentralized coin. Also, if you're having trouble finding the information on Token Terminal or cryptofees.info, you can use something called Dune Analytics. You can search for data points like revenues the past 7 days. You can look for who are the holders of the token. You can look for the protocol's treasury. There's numerous different things you can look for on Dune Analytics. Here's another protocol that's banging on fees. This actually at one point was getting $40 million in revenue. Like straight up revenue. That is crazy. MetaMask doesn't have a token, but as you can see over time it has been declining. And this is common for a bear market, so this is something to keep in mind. This is, I wouldn't say it's healthy, but it's just normal for it to happen in a bear market. Now here's an example of one that's more sporadic and, well, not so much, and is kind of declining. This is Solend. I'm not saying this is a bad protocol. I'm not saying this is a good protocol. I'm just giving you guys an example of revenue. You can see here it's pretty stagnant, but overall it's kind of trending down. And if you go on a max chart, you can see over time this is going down. Now there will be some protocols that don't have a lot of revenue because they don't have a lot of TVL, so you do need to keep in mind the TVL to revenue ratio. So if there is a lot of TVL inside the protocol, or if there's a lot of people providing liquidity, you better expect those fees to be pretty high. However, if the TVL is pretty low, well, then you can't really assume the fees are going to be higher. But that's why you want to see the TVL going up. If TVL is going up, that means more people are interested in using the protocol. Me personally, looking at this chart, I can see that, oh, okay, Solend, they probably had a liquidity mining incentive. And as the token's being diluted, more people pull out. And of course, mixed with a bear market, more and more people are pulling out. Now, those are some different tools that you guys can use to navigate the crypto market and figure out who is banging on fees and seeing what these protocols are doing well. You can also figure out to see if they're sustainable by looking at their treasury and how decentralized their token is. But this isn't the only thing that you need to look for, guys. You want to make sure your protocol has that cherry on top. You can't have a milkshake without the cherry. The cherry that I'm referring to is the value capture mechanism. Uniswap is one of those protocols that may be banging in fees, but it doesn't show as much in the token. The reason being is there is not a value capture. The only utility for the Uni token is for governance. However, something like Curve, Aave, Velodrome, Frax, all these different protocols have a value capture mechanism where some of the fees actually go back to the stakers or they go to buy back their token, which rewards the holders. Now here's an example of a protocol that has a cherry on top. This is Curve. Curve, when you lock up your CRV token and stake with it, you actually earn a share of the protocol's revenue. The TLDR on the CRV token is it gets 50% of all the trading fees. So if the trading fees are 2% on a pair, well then the Curve holders get 1%. Now, Curve doesn't only have staking rewards. They also have rewards from bribes. So you can also get bribed from other protocols that are wanting to get more liquidity for their token. So you can see there is a direct value capture mechanism for this token. It's not just, hey, yeah, you vote on this and we call it a day. Having that cherry aligns all the incentives of the users and it creates that value capture mechanism. So let's go ahead and summarize what I showed you guys in this video. I showed you how to use Token Terminal, I showed you how to use cryptofees.info, as well as Dune Analytics to get some valuable information to analyze your protocols. This has to do with looking at revenue, the user growth, looking at a protocol's treasury, seeing how decentralized the protocol is, and then of course that value capture mechanism. The tools and protocols that I gave you in this video are not the only protocols that I'm looking at and not the only tools that I use. These are just a couple of tools that you can use in order to begin your research process. So if you notice a protocol that is just killing it in fees and you see the token and you're like, man, what's going on? Like, why isn't the market reacting? That could be an opportunity. Now make sure it has that cherry on top. That is the value accrual mechanism. Without that, you just got pieces. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm going to go ahead and hit you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 12 verses 8. A person is praised according to their prudence, and one with a warped mind is despised. Jeez, that's rough. Anyways, if you don't know what prudence means, it just means going about what you do with careful thought. So keep that in mind in what you do. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you dislike, you unsubscribe. That way you guys are going with the trend. Remember, the trend is your friend. We'll see you guys in the next one.